Dear friends, after reading and studying chapter number 2, now we are going to revise this chapter. History, chapter number 2, Historiography, Indian Tradition, Revision. First, we revise this chapter in brief. Historiography, Indian Tradition. In the second lesson of your textbook, we take a review of tradition of Indian historiography, especially through the ages of ancient, medieval and modern period of Indian history. For rebuilding of ancient Indian history, we depend on some archaeological sources such as monuments, coins, inscriptions, seals and other artifacts. Some written sources are also helpful to rebuild Indian history like religious manuscript, epics, biographies and travelers' record. For rebuilding medieval Indian history, we use archaeological sources such as inscriptions, copper plates, coins, relics of monuments. In written sources, we use some books like Rajatarangini, Muslim rulers' records and Bakhars. Next, in 20th century, during the British period, the archaeological exploration was started in India. In the same times, many ancient Indian sites were excavated. Many British officers wrote about Indian history. After that, we find various ideological frameworks in Indian historiography. In this reference, we can see colonial, orientalist, nationalistics, trades of historiography. In the post-independent era, the historiography has been influenced mainly by three ideological schools such as Marxist, subaltern and feminist history. Now we are going to revise some questions. Question number 1A. Complete the sentences by choosing a correct option. First is, Dash was the first Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India, and the options are Alexander Cunningham, William Jones, John Marshall, Friedrich Max Muller. Second one is Dash translated the Sanskrit text of Hitopadesha in German language. A. James Mill, B. Friedrich Max Muller, C. Mount Stuart Elphinstone, D. Sir John Marshall. Third question is, Rajatarangini is the history of. Options are A. Kashmir, B. Bengal, C. Maharashtra and D. Rajasthan. And the fourth is, Mahatma Phule unfolded the history of Shudrati Shudra communities in his book. First option is the untouchables. Second option is who were the Shudras. Third option is Gulamgiri. And fourth option, D option, is Stri Purusha Tulana. So, you pause this video, jot down the sentences and try to write the answers. Now, question first B. Identify wrong pair in the following. First set is, who were the Shudras, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Second, Stri Purusha Tulna, feminist writings. Third, the Indian War of Independence, 1857, Marxist history. And fourth one is Grand Duff, colonial history. Now the second set is, first, Hasan Nizami, Tajul Masir. Second, Minhaj-e-Siraj, Tabakat-e-Nasiri. Third one is Timurlang, Tuzuk-e-Timuri. And fourth one is Ziauddin Barni, Tariq-e-Mubarak Shahi. Now pause this video and try to write the answers. Now see, here are answers of the first question. The first answer is Alexander Cunningham was the first Director General of Archaeological Survey of India. The second answer is Friedrich Max Muller translated the Sanskrit text of Hitopadesha in German language. third one is Rajatarangini is the history of Kashmir, and fourth one is Mahatma Phule unfolded the history of Shudrati Shudra communities in his book Gulamgiri. Now, question number first B, identify the wrong pairs in the following. There are following wrong pairs. First is the Indian War of Independence 1857 Marxist history, because this book is not an example of Marxist history, it is an example of nationalistic history. Now the second answer is Ziauddin Barni, Tariq-e-Mubarak Shahi. See, Ziauddin Barni wrote Tariq-e-Firuz Shahi. Now the second question is explain the following with reason. Here are some statements which you explain with reason. The first is writing of the regional history received a momentum. The answer is writing of the regional history received a momentum because the first point is the nationalistic historiography provided a momentum to the writing of regional history too. Second is, as a result, the attention of historians was drawn to the geographic condition and history of South Indian region. Now, second statement is, Bakhar is an important type of historical document. The answer is, Bakhar is an important type of historical documents because, first, it contains eulogies of the heroes and stories of historic events, battles, lives of great men. The second answer is, or the second point is, Bakhars can be divided into various types such as biographies of kings, dynastic history, descriptions of events, history of a sect, autobiographies regarding grievances based on mythologies, and state administration by a king. In this slide, we can see third statement. People began to address Govinda Sakharam Sardesai as Riyasatkar. See this answer in the box of your textbook. First is, people began to address Govinda Sakharam Sardesai as Riyasatkar because the first point is, publication of Marathi Riyasat by Govinda Sakharam Sardesai was a momentous achievement in the field of Indian historiography. Second point is, his work became so famous that people began to address him as Riyasatkar. And the third extra point is, he published several volumes of Maratha history. Question number 3 is, explain the following concepts. Though this question is not a part of your paper pattern, but these points are maybe asked for short notes. First is Orientalist historiography. See, here are 4 points. First is, many European scholars felt curious about civilizations and countries of the East. Second point is, some of those scholars felt admiration and respect for them. These scholars were known as Orientalists. See, this is the concept of what is Orientalists. Third one is, Orientalists studies the similarities between Sanskrit and some of the European languages. And the fourth point is, the focused more on Vedic tradition and Sanskrit literature. Their studies resulted into formulating the notation of an ancient language that could be the mother of all Indo-European languages. Now the second concept is nationalistic historiography. See, This explanation is also divided into 4 points. First is the writings of Indian historians who were trained in the British educational system show an inclination to restore the pride of the ancient glory of India and the self-esteem of the Indian readers. The second point is their writings are known as nationalistic historiography. So this is a concept of nationalistic historiography. Nationalistic writings in Maharashtra were inspired by Vishnu Shastri Chiplunkar. The nationalistic historiography helped in the triggering of the independence movement of the India people against the British. The nationalistic historiography provided a momentum to the writing of regional history too. Now the third point is subaltern history. This concept is also divided into 4 points. First is the seeds of subaltern history are found in the Marxist historiography. The second one is the role of the Italian historian Antonio Gramsci is very important in developing the idea that history should be written starting from the bottomest rank of people in the society. In fact, subaltern means the bottomest ranks. Third one is folklore has been considered as a very important source of writing subaltern history. And the fourth one is we may point out that much before the onset of subaltern ideology, similar thoughts were expressed by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Now the fourth point is Sohagora copperplate. See, this answer is also divided into 4 points. First, the copper plate was found at Sohagora, district Gorakhpur, state Uttar Pradesh. It is supposed to be from the Mauryan period. The inscription in it is Brahmi script. The symbols known as tree in railing and mountain at the beginning of the inscription also occur on punchmark coins. Second point is another symbol which look like a structure of erected on 4 pillars is supposed to be indicative of granary. The third point is the inscription record a royal order that the grains stored in the granary should be distributed carefully. And the fourth point is it is supposed to be suggestive of precaution taken in the times of famine. See, the fourth question is do as instructed. The first is complete the following chart, which is the question of your book exercise. In the first column, there are some authors, and in the second column, there are some books. So fill this chart with the help of your textbook. Now the second one is complete the following concept map. The main idea of the concept map is historiography in the post-independence era schools. So there are 3 schools in the post-independence era. You fill this concept map with the help of your book. Now the next slide is question number 5. Write detailed answers to the following questions. The first question is what is Marxist history? Now while writing the long answers, you introduce it in 1 or 2 lines. See, first is introduction of the answer, the concern for the means of production, modes of production, and the industrial relation were at the center in the writings of Marxist historians. Now here are 4 points which are related to the answer. The first point is accordingly to analyze the impact of every social event of significance has remained the basic theme of Marxist historiography. The second point is Marxist historians in India studied the transitions within the caste system. The third point is among the notable Indian historians who adopted Marxist ideological framework, scholars like Damodar Dharmananda Kosambi, Comrade Shripad Amrut Dange, Ram Sharan Sharma, Comrade Sharad Patil have contributed notably. The fourth point is Comrade Dange was one of the founder member of the Indian Communist Party. Primitive Communism to Slavery, the book written by him, represents Marxist historiography. Now the second question of this series is, what is the contribution of Itihasacharya V.K. Rajwade to historiography? Now the answer is, first is introduction in one line. V.K. Rajwade has a great contribution to nationalistic historiography. Now the first point of your answer is, V.K. Rajwade is well known for his writings in Marathi on varied subjects like history, linguistics, etymology, grammar, etc. The second point is, he was of the firm opinion that we should write our own history. The third point is, he compiled and edited 22 volumes of मराठ्यांच्या इतिहासाची साधने. He wrote very scholarly prefaces to each of the 22 volumes. He stated, history is the all-inclusive image of the past societies. The fourth point is, it does not include only the stories of political images, conspiracies, and wars for seizing power. And the fifth and last point is, he insisted that history should be written only using the authentic documentary sources. So it is an answer of your second question. The third question is, explain the contribution of ancient Indian literature in historiography. See, this answer is divided into 3 points. First is, in ancient period, in India, memories of the great deeds of ancestors and mythological lores, also memories of social transitions, were preserved with the help of oral recitals. The second point is, the ancient Indian literature including the epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Puranas, Jain and Buddhist texts, historical accounts by Indian authors, and travelogies by foreign travelers are important sources of history. Third point is, writings of biographies like kings and dynastic heroes mark an important step in the Indian historiography. The example is Harshcharita, written in the 17th century CE by Banabhatta, is King Harsha's biography. The portrays a realistic picture of the social, economic, political, religious, and cultural life during the king's time. So here we revise the second chapter, Historiography, Indian Tradition, with some questions. Thank you.